In the last 213 days, I've unlocked my creative side, once again. I have unlocked that creative flow that you felt when you were a child. You know when you were a little kid and you used to sit down and draw or write things or just draw little pictures and stuff like that, and you were so creative, you were always able to come up with these crazy ideas and these really cool things. You were so creative. And as you get older, you sort of feel like you lose that creative flow. In the last 213 days since I started uploading on this YouTube channel, I've gained that creative juice back. I've gained my creative power back. Now there is a quote that sums up what I'm about to say perfectly. It's by a man named William Faulkner, and the quote goes, "I only write when inspiration hits. Fortunately, inspiration hits every morning at 9 a.m. And basically what the quote means is if you only do something when you're inspired, you have to force yourself to do that thing and be inspired. I've had to force myself to be creative so many times. I've uploaded in this channel about 40 YouTube videos, and I've had to force myself to be creative 40 times to come up with an idea that I think is good enough for a YouTube video. All you have to do to be creative is force yourself to be creative enough times, and eventually that creative flow is going to come back. Alright? Now, there are so many different things you can do to become more creative and to get your mind going and go on walks, get inspired, all that sort of stuff. I've spoken about all that before. If you want to be inspired, you need to inspire yourself, right? But you have to force yourself. You have to put in the work to become inspired. Now, it might be going for a walk. It might be whatever it is. I'm not going to go over that today. I have become creative again by forcing myself to be creative every day. Now, for the past 10 days, I've uploaded a video every single day. By the time you guys see this, it's probably going to be like 13 or 14 days. I don't know whether I'm still daily uploading, hopefully. But I'm able to do this. I'm able to make a video every day because I'm just forcing myself to be creative. Every day, every second, every third day, I force myself to come up with ideas. I force myself to sit down and write ideas. And this works. This genuinely works. I guarantee you that if you just force yourself to come up with ideas, if you force yourself to try and tap into that creative side, it's going to work eventually. Now, I remember the first time, for months, I would sit down and just force myself to be creative, and it wouldn't work. But now, after forcing myself to sit down and come up with video idea after video after video idea 40 times, and probably double that, probably like 70 or 80 times, for the amount of videos that have just failed or not uploaded, I've forced myself to be creative so much times that it just happens, right? I'm able to come up with video ideas. I'm able to be so much more creative, so much easier, because I've forced myself to be creative. Now back to the quote, I only write when inspiration strikes. Fortunately, inspiration strikes every morning at 9 a.m. William Faulkner was an author, right? He would write books. And if he only wrote when he was inspired, he would have written way less. But because he forced himself to write every morning at 9 a.m, eventually his brain will just turn on creatively at 9 a.m. every morning. And that now happens with me. I'm now able to sit down or listen to a video, whatever it is, and get in that state of mind where you're being creative, where you're coming up with video ideas. I've been able to get my brain used of coming up with ideas. I can now force myself to sit down and come up with ideas. And this is not as easy as it sounds. I guarantee you it is harder than it sounds. But if you can do this enough times, like anything, it will work. If you go to the gym enough times, you're going to get strong enough to lift that weight. All right? If you meditate enough times, you're going to be mentally strong enough to meditate that 20 minutes. All right? If you sit down and film enough videos, you're going to be good enough to film a good video. All right? It is the same thing. People think that mental things and physical things are different. People think that going to the gym and building the habit of going to the gym is different to building the habit of being creative or building the habit of meditating. It is all the same thing. It is a habit. You have to build the habit of being able to put yourself in a creative state. So, to end the video off, if you want to be creative, build the habit of getting in that creative mode. Creativity is a habit. If you force yourself to be creative enough times, eventually, it's a habit and you're going to be able to pull it out and use it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.